What is good, everybody? Juliana Page here, and I have an interesting word for you on today. So I really want to invite you to think about how the long way is the shortcut. This isn't something that's pleasing to the ears. This isn't something that we like to hear, but this is something that can really help you if you really lean into this thought. It will help you get clear on how you show up and how you actually intentionally guide or steward the resources that you have. Why this thought on today? Well, it occurred to me that there's many people, especially that I work with in the work that I do, that believe that there is this like holy grail of purpose or calling. Like suddenly they're going to wake up and, the audience, right? They'll step on this stage and all these people are going to see them show up and just shine in whatever it is that they're called to do, or that they'll take action when they realize this purpose or when they realize that thing that they're put on this earth to do. And I just feel like that's such a flawed or faulty perspective. What I found in my own life and what I've seen in some of my favorite mentors is that there's often been years of processing and years of development, right? It wasn't just this sudden like aha moment. It was a accumulation of pain equity, of failures, of shaking off the dust and keeping it moving, of learning how to build yourself as a leader, of learning how to solve interesting problems, and learning how to really invest in what matters most to you and devote time to what matters most to you so that you can really discover your unique rhythm and what alignment even feels like for you so that you can spread your joy, right? It wasn't just like this one huge moment. And so my hope for you today is to really reflect on how you are investing your time and what you're investing your time in, okay? So the thought behind that is that you're not going to matter to everybody. Hate to break to you, you're not, right? And you're not going to have enough resources to affect everybody either. You're going to have a limited amount of time. You're going to have a limited capacity. You're going to have a limited amount of energy, right? So it's really important to think about that. Why? I invite you to answer this question. If you were to stop doing whatever it is that you do, if you were to shut down your social media profiles, if you were to close the door of your bakery, if you were to stop showing up at that job, if you were to stop investing in that relationship, would you be missed? If you were to stop, would you be missed? Why do I ask that? I don't ask that to freak you out, although some healthy freakouts are good because they make you think and they challenge you and they hopefully cause you to show up differently in a way that is more meaningful and impactful, right? The invitation here in answering that question is thinking about the impact that you're making, okay? So rather than being motivated by things that ultimately do not bring fulfillment, do not bring joy, do not bring that experience of people actually missing you because your impact is impacting them, right? Doing this exercise helps you think that maybe a new model of success is excellence versus perfection. Maybe a new model of success is vulnerability versus not doing anything at all. Maybe a new model of success is quality interactions versus impressing people, right? Maybe a new standard or new success scale, right, could be the generosity about how you show up or the presence and the fullness of this presence that you show up with, right? So how do you bring excellence to all that you do? Usually that means you can't do everything. So I'm inviting you on today to think about how you spend your time and the impact that you're making. So literally, here's a couple of ways to do it. One is asking yourself that question and reflecting on how you're showing up. Because if you answer that honestly, vulnerably, just real, if you just give yourself some real talk, if you answer that, what matters and what you're actually doing and how you're showing up. Think about that. The impact that you have on people, if that's your new success measure, is it quality? Check it out. Just investigate it for a bit, right? No judgment. Just investigate it. Then another thing that you can do is make a list of how you're showing up hour by hour, because that's easier than all the minutes in between, right? But hour by hour, from the minute you wake up to the minute your head hits the pillow, what are you doing in that time? What is your mind focused on? What actions are you taking? What actions are you not taking? What are you talking about? Who are you spending time with? What are you creating? What is the energy that you're bringing, right? What is all of that? And are you proud of that? Where can you make adjustments? Where can you make time for the things that do matter most to you? What do you need to do less of so that you can do that? How do you hold stronger, firmer boundaries, right? How do you have more discipline? How do you have more self-control so that you can truly show up in a way that matters to you and devote more of your time to that? So for example, I know there was a time in the season, and I still do a lot of these things today, but at least the first one where I was making these big adjustments, I decided that I was going to be a creator, not a consumer, okay? So what that meant was I had to cut off and stop doing a lot of the things that I was consuming, especially the things that were not bettering me. They were not helping my character journey, if you will. They were not causing me to become more, to grow, to evolve. They were very limiting in a lot of ways. So that looked like cutting TV. Don't watch TV to this day, right? That was not feeding my soul. That was not uplifting me. That was not guiding me in a way that was fruitful at all. Cut that, right? Then I also realized that I was not led to be on every single social media platform, right? Now that looks like, do you need to be on Twitter, on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, on LinkedIn? Do you need to be on all those? Can you be effective on all those? Do you need to even get a portal that manages all those because you can't possibly be effective on all those? Just think about that, right? So I made the conscious and intentional choice of not being on all social media platforms. I decided that I was going to limit time and interaction, if not cut it off completely, with people and places that were maybe fun and exciting, but were not adding value at the end of the day. There was no return on investment, right? I stopped saying yes to volunteer opportunities that were good, but that were not God, meaning they were good things to do, but I was not led to do them. Okay, so examples of how you would literally pull back and think, okay, I have limited time, resources, capacity, energy. How am I feeding myself, and where am I investing those things so that I can have this impact that I believe that I'm here to have, right? Because if you think about it, if you do too much, the energy that you bring, the way you show up, you could be moody, you could be stressed, you could be speaking just death and cursing and nasty stuff, right? Like you could just, it's not gonna be pretty, right? So think about that. Think about the impact that you wanna have, the skills that you wanna develop, what you feel led and called to do, and how can you invest in those things even though it's not perfect? So for somebody, that could be starting a blog. And in the beginning, if you just start the blog for you and for the sake of developing your thoughts and challenging yourself to think about something and leaving a trail of practical wisdom and knowledge, you're only going to become a better communicator and more insightful and grow in wisdom and discernment as you do that every day. Even if nobody liked it, even if nobody read it, you would become better for it, right? And that's helping you develop your talent and your craft, and who knows what that'll turn into later. But rather than doing that for the sake of having followers or having attention, it's the wrong intention, right? Attention is the wrong intention, right? The intention is to put value out there, to do it for the spirit of goodwill, to show up and give what you wish somebody would show up and give to you, right? And getting really good at that. And then what happens, right? The bonus is that people actually feed on that. They're hungry for that, and they'd miss it if you didn't show up and give that, right? So what are the things that you're inspired to do? If you didn't have the following, if you didn't have the big name, if you didn't have all the whatever, right? All the accolades, what is that? Give yourself the permission and the gift of showing up and being great at it and producing value, because all that's going to do, if you do this blog in this example, you're going to be a better communicator with yourself. You're going to be a better communicator with your family, with your coworkers, with everyone you encounter. You're going to be better at articulating thoughts and experiences and complimenting people or paying attention to things, or right? Like, you're just going to get better. So the thing is to stop this, I need to do what everybody else is doing. I can do all the things, right? And really get clear on spending time and devoting time to the things that actually matter to you, and building alignment, consistency, integrity with just keeping promises to yourself. Okay. And then as you learn, you become a better leader by leading yourself, right? And you become a better problem solver as you start having interesting solutions to problems that you encounter on the journey. So this is not like an instant gratification. This is a process, and this is a journey, but it's, the invitation is really to fall in love with who you're becoming and what you're sharing on the journey, so that you will be missed in every arena that you're called to influence, because you will not matter to everybody, and you do not have infinite resources to make an impact for everyone. So how can you really pull back for a second and get clear on how you're showing up? Are you showing up with the intention of growing a big following, with earning a lot of money, with selling to a lot of people, with whatever it is? Are you trying to manipulate? And are you driven by fear? Or are you driven from love and value and generosity and impact? Think about that. It's going to be different for everybody. But I invite you to really pull back for a second and stop this idea that there's this perfect calling or this perfect purpose that you're going to realize. A lot of realizing it is realizing that you are your purpose. You are the call. You are the answer. And you're becoming more every day, right? Is what is impacting people, is what's influencing the different spheres of influence that you have. And you waiting on something or hiding or not showing up because it's not perfect, because you don't have the following, because you don't have the resources that you think you need, you not showing up is a disservice, and you won't be missed, right? People want to see you. They want to know you. They want to experience you. Not everyone, but the people that you're called to do, right? So think about that. I invite you to think about your new standard of excellence. Maybe it's not all of this stuff that we're conditioned to believe, but maybe it's excellence. Maybe it's joy. Maybe it's quality interactions. Maybe it's generosity. Maybe it's presence. Think about that. Are you bringing that to what you do now? If you were to stop doing what you're currently doing, would you be missed? And if the answer is no, or if you look at your schedule and you don't like how you're spending time, or there's things that don't feel authentic to you, stop doing those things, because you're training yourself to be inauthentic. You're training yourself to really hold and stick to standards that somebody else created, and that can never fulfill you. So my encouragement on today is to pause, to ask yourself that question, to get clear on how you're spending your time, to get clear on where you can invest more of your time in things that really matter to you, right? And to devote the best of you to those things. If that's developing a relationship with God, bring God your first fruits. If that is developing a film business, do that and network and connect with people that have that passion, right? But get clear and don't be messy with your energy. That's my encouragement to you on today. So I hope this blessed you. If you want to follow more behind the scenes, you can follow me over on Instagram at Miss Juliana Page. If you are interested in coaching, professional life coaching that is, and consulting services, you can go to julianapage.com. If a self-paced course is more your speed, I have a course over there, and I've also got a lot of great books too that will help you develop. So go check out Miss Juliana Page and make sure you subscribe or share this with somebody that you know. All right, guys, until next time, stay blessed. Bye.